Hey, Taco here. Come along with me on another flight.
There we go.
I had some problems getting my motor to start. I blew my first inflation, and because I accidentally hit the kill switch, I think, about the time the glider came over me, and then could not get it to start. I must have pulled it about 8 times, and then finally Jake came over there, and he was able to. He had to pull it about 20 times, and finally it started. But as soon as it started, it ran fine. This is a great evening. I almost didn't fly at all. I'd gone to the airport, and I got all set up, and I hooked up my smoke system. And the wind was almost nothing coming out of the east again to my far right there. And I was about to pack up and go home, and Jake flew in and landed. And he's like, "Well, now the wind's about to shift. And it's blowing decently up high. So, hang out and give it a try." So I set up and I waited a few minutes, and sure enough, the wind was coming out of the north, a nice steady breeze. And once I got up, it was just a beautiful, nice, calm, smooth sunset. Just a gorgeous evening. Now I've got something new on my paramotor, and I'm going to give it a shot here in just a little bit. I installed the PPG smoke system, and goods and bads about it. I didn't really have time to run the button up and put it on my throttle cable like I wanted, but I think I might swap it out. So it holds about 1 liter of food grade mineral oil, and it looks really good when you cut it on. The problem I have, I think my nozzle that screws into the pipe is facing the wrong way, because it smoked the entire time, just a little bit. It was like I couldn't cut the smoke off. So I'm not sure if the nozzle is facing the wrong way and there's something weird going on where it's kind of like sucking the fuel or the mineral oil into the pipe. So I'm not sure. But I was able to stay up a good 16, 17 minutes or so. Hung around the airport. I didn't go very far. So it was a nice, smooth flight. The problem is, back there where I made that turn, over the trees, thank goodness, I had stowed the cable for the pump in my side pouch, in my left-hand side pouch there. Well, also in that side pouch was my Allen wrench for my prop, for the quick release for my prop. So at some point when I pulled the cable out of the side pouch, the daggum Allen wrench fell out. So it didn't hit anything on me, but it's back in those trees somewhere at the corner of the airport. So that sucked. That was just stupid on my part. And I've already given the smoke a squirt, and you'll see it back behind me here in a second. I think, there it goes, off to the right. I'll give you a better view here in just a second. Yeah, there's my smoke. And then there it goes. I can convince people around town that I'm spraying chemtrails or something. So the things I like about the PPG smoke system, pretty easy. It's 3 little buckles that you put around your frame, and so it goes right on. Look at the vortex, the end of the smoke just curling around. So it goes right on pretty easily with these 3 little pull buckles, and I think they're 1-inch wide straps. So it goes on the side very quickly. The unit itself is not much bigger than the 1 liter bottle it comes in, or that holds the oil. So there's a little battery pack and pump next to it, all in the same nylon Cordura style pouch. I like that. The thing I don't like is the button. They have a push button to activate the smoke. However, it's push and lock. And so you push it once and it locks on, and you smoke as long as you want to until it runs out. And then you push it again to unlock it. Well, unless I'm using it wrong, there's no way to tell without looking behind you if it's on or off. And in my case, it was still smoking a little bit, no matter what I did. So it's like some of the oil gets in the exhaust pipe or something. I don't know. It was still smoking no matter what I did. So I had to reach down on my left-hand side and actually just turn the pump off. Just turn the whole system off. And there's Jake down there off my left knee. He's playing with his. So I think what I'm going to do is cut off their old switch and then replace it with a momentary on push button switch. So if I want to make smoke, I have to push and hold. And as soon as I let go, the smoke will stop. So I really like that kind of switch better. And I think I've actually got one right here in the shed with me. So I'm going to swap that switch and get a better feel. And I think I've even got a smaller one I can use, and then that way it will take up less space on my throttle. The switch they give you is pretty big and rugged and heavy duty, but I really want one that I can just push, smoke, and then let go to cut off, instead of having to double click it like a ballpoint pen or something. I'm not sure if I've done it yet, but at one point I fly through my own wake. So I did a circle of smoke and I fly through my own wake, and I really didn't even realize it. When I flew right through it, I hit a good bump. I was like, whoa, don't do that again. That wing Jake's got, he used to have, I think, an Ozone. I think that's the BGD Luna 3 that he's got. I'm not sure. I know it's a BGD wing, and I used to be able to tell people, hey, if you see somebody flying over town and it's a kind of blue and orange wing, that's Jake. And if it's a green wing, it's me. But now his looks almost like my Magic, especially from the ground. They look very similar as far as color scheme goes. So he'll do a lot of dives and turns and stuff where I tell people I fly like grandma going home from church. Just nice and slow and easy. And I enjoy it. That's why I got into the thing. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I didn't get into sport to do dives and flips and rolls and wing overs. I just got into it to get up and enjoy just kind of cruising around. That beautiful sunset over there. Sun's almost down. If you remember from my classroom videos, we can fly up to 30 minutes after sunset as long as we have strobes, and there's one on top of my helmet. I didn't put the ones in the wing tips this time because I didn't plan to even be up this long because I planned to take off earlier. And by the time Jake got there, I pretty much decided not to fly, but I'm so glad I did. It was just a gorgeous, smooth, calm night. Looks like I need to rewrap the extra cord on my toggle there. The little loop that I made to store the extra cord looked like it's coming loose. So I'll tie that back off. Well, not tie it off. It just it's just like a wrap. Next time I get ready to go somewhere. Jake loves to fly low, just above the ground. That always makes me nervous. Now it's about time to come down, and you can see in the route marker there on the top right hand side, I'm going to do a couple little loops, lose some altitude. When I say loops, I mean 360 degree right turns, not loops over the top of me. Again, this is the Insta360 camera, and it's getting this information about where I am from my Garmin Fenix 7 watch. Unfortunately, they never seem to sync up right. That the watch data always starts just a hair before the video, so they're not really synced up really well. It's kind of funny. It's the speed will start increasing before I actually start running, and then when I land, the speed goes to 0 before I even touch the ground. So it's off sometimes as much as like 8 or 9 seconds. Just a nice calm descent. I think I'd do one more 360 circle. Yeah. Looking at the route thing over there, I think I'd do one more. Maybe I'd do kind of a U-turn. Yeah, there it goes. I thought I saw where Insta was coming out with a new camera, but I'm not sure. I think that haze off to the left is actually my, it's one of two things. Either the camera lens is dirty, or it's the smoke that I keep leaving behind that I can't get away from. So I'm about to go up to the, out to the car and sit my motor up and see if I can turn that nozzle around the other way. I bought the PVG smoke kit with the, that fits the EGT port on my new, yeah, hands up. Trying to show Jake that I'm not touching the toggles yet. Just kind of putting my hands up where they are. But I bought the muffler with the EGT port, and I bought the PVG smoke system with the little adapter for that. And when I screwed it in, at first I had the side marked. The nozzle should be pointing downstream, so away from the cylinder head exhaust port. So when I installed it, though, when I first installed it, it was facing the right way. But then when I cranked the motor up, I could tell it was leaking. So it was leaking air and fuel exhaust through the little EGT hole. So I tightened it down, and I think it went about 180 degrees the wrong way. So I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that it constantly smokes, like it's putting pressure on the smoke oil hose, and then when the piston goes back down, it's pulling a little bit of smoke in. So it's pressurizing and then pulling some in. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I think that's it. Anyway, I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can turn it back around the other way and still have it tight enough where it won't leak. So actually, I really like this landing. I was a little short. So if this had been an engine out, I would have been landing right where I am instead of way down there near the car where I want to be. but I landed almost exactly where I wanted to, using a combination of power and stuff. That bare spot in the middle is where I was focused on. I did not want to land down on those concrete blocks where the drain is. I wanted to land farther down. Number one, I wanted to be closer to the car. And number two, I wanted to be away from that drain right there. Engine's off. I started pulling a little early, and I felt myself kind of balloon up a little bit, and so I just held it and then came down. The wind helped. It probably would have been another like fall over on my face kind of landing had I not had about 5 miles an hour worth of wind. But with the wind, it was a beautiful landing. Great redemption flight. I feel good. I'm all sweaty. Need a haircut. But it was a great redemption flight. And Jake's going to come by and check on me. One of the things Jake was doing was...
Traffic. Green paramotor is on the grass strip at runway 03, preparing to pack my stuff up at our strip.
One of the things Jake was doing was watching my landing and my hand position to help me out. And I'm running like crazy to the car, like, woohoo, I did it. You can tell it's a good flight when you're dancing back to the car. But Jake was watching my hand positions and kind of he gave me some pointers after he got back to where he was going and landed. He's like, hey, look, I noticed you were doing this and you were doing that. You know, you can fix that next time. So it's great to have a community of pilots that are willing to help each other, whether, you know, on the ground or in the air or in an emergency. So it's great to see that. But I'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll have an air show this weekend, and I'll get to set up a booth with Jake and talk about paramotoring. So that'll be fun, and I hope to have maybe even go live from there. I can go live on the TikTok now. So no matter what you do, if you're going up in the air or whatever, remember rule 1, don't go splat.